Okay. Summer, you okay? Okay, very good. All right, aloha mai kākou. Today is Wednesday, October 15th. Gee whiz. October 15th. The time is 9:07. I call this meeting of the Committee on Beneficiary Advocacy and Empowerment to order. Of course, we all know the committee serves as the voice and bridge between our Native Hawaiian beneficiaries and the OHA policies, programs, and resources that affect our daily lives. I want to welcome everyone here today and acknowledge my staff, Trustee Aide Leanne Stender Durant, and Trustee Secretary Kyla He. Leanne is serving as the committee meeting recording secretary, and Kyla is serving as the committee technology and information specialist. Leanne, please take the roll.
Trustee Ahuna is excused. Trustee Akaka.
Ill.
Trustee Akina.
Aloha mai kākou.
Trustee Alapa is
Present.
present. Oh, present. Thank you. Trustee Kahele.
Present.
Trustee Lindsay.
Present.
Trustee Souza.
Ill.
Trustee Waihe'e.
Present.
Chair Galutaria.
Leo.
We have 8 present. You have a quorum.
Mahalo. At this time, I'd like to call our COO up to the table. Keishawn Kikina, please introduce the admin staff, if you would.
Mahalo Chair, aloha Vice Chair and trustees. This morning, our administration staff consists of our investment director and interim CFO, Ryan Lee, general counsel, Everett Ota, director of advocacy, Lena Alalei, director of OEV Wellbeing and Aina Momona, Ku'ike Kamakeo Ohelo, director of education and culture-based learning, Ku'u Abo Chan, director of communications, Bill Brennan, operations manager, Royce Campbell, IT systems engineer and administrator, Kyle Saucier. Mahalo.
Mahalo, Keisha. Now, this meeting is being conducted in compliance with HRS Chapter 92, the Sunshine Law, and the OHA bylaws. It is viewable via live stream at www.oha.org/livestream and available for in-person attendance at the Mauliola boardroom here in Honolulu. Pursuant to Article 12 of our bylaws and Robert's Rules of Order for Small Boards, Section 4921, we will observe the following procedures. Trustees must be recognized by the chair before speaking. Motions do not require a second. The chair may participate fully in debate and vote on all matters. Informal discussion is permitted while no motion is pending. So, members, please observe order and decorum per Article 17 of the bylaws. Public testimony will be allowed on any agenda item and will be limited to 5 minutes per speaker. Okay. Our first order is approval of the minutes. We have one set of minutes to approve today, October 1st, 2025. Before we move on, I'd like to acknowledge the following corrections that have been made to the minutes that have been posted for approval today. Trustee Lindsay was accidentally listed as part of the BAE staff introduction, and that reference has been removed. Leanne, do we have any public testimony on this item?
No testimony at this time.
Very good. May I have a motion on item A, October 1st, 2025 minutes as amended?
Mr. Chair. So moved.
Thank you, trustee. A roll call, please.
Trustee Ahuna is excused. Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa.
Yes.
Trustee Kahele.
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay.
Aye.
Trustee Souza.
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Chair Galutaria.
Aye.
You have 8 yes votes. Motion passes.
Mahalo. All right, we have new business now. Let's proceed. We have 2 presentations by the administration. Before starting, we will receive public testimony for both items. Leanne, do we have any public testimony in person or online? Pardon
Yes, we do. We have Mike Nakachi who would like to testify.
All right.
and he's
Is Mike
here in
up?
person.
Okay, Mike, please come forward. Aloha. Yeah, get right on up to the mic, okay? Mike.
Sure, no problem. Thank you. Aloha board. My name's Mike Nakachi. I come to you all from Mokuākea, from the Ahupua'a of Waikoloa in South Kohala. I'm very honored to be here, and why I am here, I have specific asks that we may need your help with. As a beneficiary, my story with OHA goes back decades. I am a beneficiary of a Native Hawaiian revolving loan fund back in the 80s. Was awarded $100,000 back in the day to start our business, which was a very humble business called Aloha Dive Company. We have then later morphed into a company now called Moana Ohana, where we operate beautiful boats that then do exclusive tours throughout the Pai'aina. I have had the privilege as a practitioner to dive everywhere from Holaniku to the north, all the way throughout our Ahupua'a and Pai'aina down to Kalai, down to South Point. And why I am here is more of the ask of educating you folks as board members on things that are troubling to us as beneficiaries. This is specific to I'a, the fish. This has nothing to do with the culture working group that I'm also a member of. This is going to affect us here throughout our main Hawaiian Islands. The Division of Aquatic Resources is in the process of working with the Board of Land and Natural Resources to start the conversation of introducing rules potentially on the October 24th BLNR meeting to introduce rules to start up the aquarium trade, which would affect West Hawaii. Okay. Overwhelmingly, over the last 4 decades, I have witnessed a decline of resources, okay, which are primarily ornamental fish. We're talking about lau'ipala, we're talking about pole, we're talking about pakuikui. A lot of these resources have plummeted to a level where they claim they are sustainable. There is no science to officially document that. And more importantly, if these rules are ever passed by the board, there are several actions that are taking place with the aquarium rules. There are some litigation that is taking place with Earth Justice and some of the petitioners and constituents that Earth Justice represents. But the ask for OHA are really clearly 2 major things. One, to engage that civic process on October 24th with a letter of support for the majority of the beneficiaries that do not benefit by having the aquarium trade alive throughout the state of Hawaii. We're only talking 7 potential aquarium fish collectors in West Hawaii that could take 200,000 lau'ipala, that could take 35,000 kole, close to about 250,000 fish. That is very upsetting. And especially for us as a community group that has been going through the process, working with the DAR, working with the BLNR for 17 years to try and work with Ka'upulehu Marine Life Advisory Council or Committee. We have formed a program called Try Wait, and that has taken place for 8.5 years. And we get pushed aside as a community group that has been civically engaged for the last 25 years to try and introduce a commercial aquarium trade, which could take hundreds of thousands of fish. We're not a CBSA, we're a fisheries management area, but that is the first ask, is to have OHA engaged. The other big ask is OHA, we're gonna need support. We have worked with many of your advocates over the years, over the last 20 years. But we also need to look at introducing legislation with a champion that could represent all of our beneficiaries to end this aquarium trade through the legislature. So those are my two specific asks from this board to assist us in this process. And we will stand united and get folks from our community. There are certain networks such as the Kaikuli'ana network that represent over 18 cultural practitioners up and down the entire West Hawaii coast, from Upolu Point to the north to Kalai Point down to the south. So these are things that we've never come here to ask the board in this way, in this form, or in this fashion, but we humbly ask for this request. Thank you.
Mahalo, Mike.
Mahalo.
Members, any questions, members? No? Chair Kayla?
Mike, I got one question, because, you know, this board is going to the Association of Hawaiian Civic Club Convention in a few weeks at Keaho, and there is a resolution before the convention, that talks about the aquarium collection, industry and efforts in the West, Hawaii fishery. One of the things that has come up is, Native Hawaiians who do look at the aquarium collection industry as an opportunity for economic self-subsistence for them and their families. What are your thoughts on that piece?
I could kindly help you out with that, Kai. Being involved in West Hawaii with the West Hawaii Fisheries Council since its inception through Act 306 by David Tarnas in the late 90s, it's been a very volatile issue. There were many Kanakas involved in the aquarium trade, but so the board knows, for one, to answer your question, I believe that the Hawaiian Civic Club, and specifically Kona Hawaiian Civic Club, has always been an advocate to end aquarium fishing. And there are currently no Kanaka Maoli engaged in the aquarium fishing anymore in West Hawaii. So to answer your question, there is one Kama'aina kid that I feel for, and his family, even though he is not Kanaka, he is a local kid, and I feel for him. But these particular aquarium fishers have not been engaged on the resource ever since the Supreme Court rulings in 2017 and 2019. So this is why we're trying to advocate now to make sure that we keep them off. However, I believe that Oahu does have several aquarium fishers that are primarily based in West Oahu that could potentially be affected, that could be beneficiaries themselves. But like I said, for the last 7 years, they have seek and done alternative courses. The Oahu EIS has not been approved. Okay. West Hawaii has had a EIS that has gone through a default acceptance where 3 board members from the BLNR voted against it. 3 board members voted for it. There is also the other rule of myself as a petitioner before the Board of Land and Natural Resources. The Board of Land and Natural Resources also unanimously voted, Kai, to end the aquarium trade. But because of 188-31, I believe, a 1953 territorial legislature law that says that, oh, aquarium fish is rubbish fish and has no significant cultural value. Okay, so we're dealing with laws that have been outdated that we need to amend and update. So for this first battle that we're dealing with the board, I don't think that any Native Hawaiians, unless they are a boat driver, the rules are very vague and do not determine. So the EIS was not conducted by the Division of Aquatic Resources. The EIS was conducted by PJAC, which is the Pet Trade of America, that then has Malihini that have moved to our shores, that then become Kama'aina, that then benefit by degrading and basically strip mining our iwi kupuna or forms of kinolau that are kupuna to many and extract them by the hundreds of thousands that has happened for decades.
Thank you. Chair, sounds like Miloli.
Millie has been exploited for
Oh, yeah.
decades.
Oh, yeah.
But there is hope. Miloli'i is a CBSFA.
Do any other questions or comments, members? Okay, Mike, I hear two things now. One has a little bit longer runway, the legislative ask.
Yes, sir.
So I saw you talking to Lena Ala, so she can button that up for you
Thank
and
you.
get it to this committee so we can get it to the
The
board.
key is a champion. As you know, you're not there. Kai's not there.
Okay?
We need someone that can really be steadfast in that.
Now, secondly, the 24th is right around the corner.
Yes, sir.
What is the specific ask?
We're waiting for the official announcement. As you know, these things have to go before the Attorney General. There could be language, and this might not be even heard. We won't know till the 17th or 18th. And then once we know that date and there is the actual runway to have this hearing, then we could
Okay.
start that process.
Well, notify us
I will.
when that comes out, okay?
And who should I notify, sir? Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Thank you.
Okay, mahalo.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Mahalo, Mike.
Mahalo
Thank
for
you
your
so much for
time.
coming.
Aloha.
Thank you for your service, yeah. Appreciate it. Leanne, do we have any other public testimony in person or online?
I believe Makana Paris.
Okay. Wakana.
Aloha Papahānaumokuākea kako. Aloha Beneficiary Advocacy and Empowerment Chair Trustee Galataria and committee members. Obao Anthony Makana Paris, and I serve as the first vice president of the Association of Hawaiian Civic Clubs. The association appreciates the Office of Hawaiian Affairs Partnership and Support. Founded in 1918 by Prince Kuhio, we are the oldest Native Hawaiian advocacy movement consisting of 60 clubs and over 3,500 members across Hawaii and the continental US. Our annual convention will be held in Keauhou, Hawaii Island from October 26th to November 2nd, 2025. And the agenda includes debates on 93 proposed resolutions covering topics such as military land leases, Hawaiian immersion education, and food security, as well as budget approval and hosting keynote speakers and panels to provide insights into our community and the Lahui's needs. So these draft resolutions are circulated for primarily internal preparation and do not represent the organization's official positions. So we request that the BAE and the Board of Trustees refrain from reviewing these drafts and instead consider previously adopted resolutions available at our website, aohcc.org. So some timely resolutions that we passed in 2024 include 2024-42, calling upon the Hawaii legislature to support Native Hawaiian intellectual property working groups' requests for resources and timely extension for fiscal year 25-26. Resolution 2024-44, urging the state of Hawaii and county of Maui to collaborate with Lahaina Hawaiian Civic Club to preserve significant cultural and historical sites and material in the Lahaina fire impacted area. 2024-53, opposing any and all deep mining of sea mining in waters in and surrounding Hawaii without the free, prior, and informed consent of the indigenous people. 2024-59, urging the Board of Land and Natural Resources to not renew the United States military leases that expire in 2029. In the same line, 2024-60, urging the United States military to restore leased lands before their return, ensure fair compensation, and provide reasonable access for Native Hawaiian cultural practices and enhance the surrounding environment and communities for any of the lands that they retain. 2024-61, urging the US DoD and the Navy to implement weekly third-party testing of all Navy monitoring wells and drinking water wells for chemical contaminants associated with the Navy's bulk fuel storage facility at Kapukaki. And 2024-37, urging OHA to live stream and archive all Board of Trustee meetings on YouTube, which we acknowledge OHA's good work and while we are engaging with you on live stream right now. So those are some of the topics that are official positions of the association, and we ask that the BAE and the BOT consider those and allow us to have our internal process for deliberations as we move forward. So OHA's support has been vital in sustaining our 106 years of advocacy, and thank you for your ongoing commitment to uplifting the Lahui and our community at large. And we kindly ask that you postpone indefinitely any discussions on the draft resolutions and consider our official positions. Thank you for your understanding and kalamai for any misunderstanding on process with us as we learn how to better advocate and be better supporters and partners for uplifting the Lahui. With that, I'm available for any question, Mr. Chair. Mahalo.
Okay, mahalo, Makana, and nice to see you. Members, any questions for Makana? Seeing none. We're very clear. Thank you for your testimony. I did receive something from Dre earlier that articulates exactly what you said. So we'll put both in the record. Okay, and we look forward to seeing you real soon. And also having our committee and our board meetings over there. It's going to be
Awesome.
very, very exciting. Yeah. Okay, Makana. Mahalo.
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 All right, members.
Chair, we have one more testifier.
Oh, okay.
U'ilani Naipo.
Pardon me?
U'ilani Naipo.
Okay. U'ilani, aloha.
Aloha mai. I heard Milali'i, so I figure I just come on and present myself. Kakahiaka no. I've been in front of the board before for the same matter, and great introduction and beautifully done by Mike. I just wanted to offer any points of clarity or even answer any questions. But he was right in summarizing, that in 1953, when legislation adopted and allowed this activity to happen, it was under the false premise that reef fish had no function other than to look pretty and to allow the extraction with no limitations whatsoever. So back in 1953, when there were 40 species of fish on that whitelist, and now DAR wants to pat themselves on the back that now they reduced it to 8. But it's really poho that they have our food fish on there. And so, and the fact that, you're commodifying, our fish, which we recognize as part of our environment. We have a palina with our environment. And other than the act itself being very wrong, the way that the package has been, is being prepped and put forth to the board has a lot of holes in it. There's nothing, like Mike described, that there's 200,000 lau ipala. There's nothing in the rules package that tightens it up so that any one particular ahupua'a waters gets attacked and raped by this 200,000. There is no limit on any particular aquarium collector to take their portion and only their portion of the 200,000. So whoever gets out there the fastest or works makes it to the bank. There's nothing, because PJAC holds that EIS, there's nothing that curtails the backdoor potential of money exchange to get into that elite limited entry of permits. They own it. So it's called DAR is calling it a geographical endorsement. And because PJAC has acquired an EIS for West Hawaii, that means that they can pull in as many and recommend as many permittees to apply. And you can just see that is a lottery entry right there. And even if there were any locals, they're going to get outbid. This is proliferated throughout the South Pacific and just commercial fishing. And that's fishing for food or the industry to feed people. And we're talking about fish that is important on their reefs. And we know that. So we believe that OHA's voice, you may not be recognized formally as a co-trustee of nearshore waters like you are with Papahānaumokuākea, but your voice is very important to represent us. And we know that we've been successful in the 8 years to keep the aquarium collectors out of our waters because of our local voice. It wasn't science. It was us stepping forward and saying, from our values, and these are public trust resources. Hawaii's public trust doctrine is a legal principle by which DAR is supposed to uphold. And if Hawaii wants these reef fish in their homes, then so be it, but not for the world. This should not be an export. It should not be privatized. So that voice really resounded well with the board. And that's why, as Mike had alluded to, they did unanimously support us. We've been told that DLNR wants to say, oh, if you want to ban it, you got to take it to legislators. We know that a legislator said, I'm not going to get in the way of DLNR doing this job. So we need to, I'm not going to say attack, we need to resolve this at both parties. We cannot do it just single or one or the other. I want to thank you, though. I saw and I have read the legislators' district reports. I'm very happy that you followed through on the last time I was before you and you brought this to our attention. But I think we need a little bit more, as Mike was saying. So an in-person testifier representative from OHA would be great. Also, I think we need your help to bring there's about 15 community organizations like Miloli'i.
Ilani, we have about 10 seconds, okay?
Okay, great. The last ask is Miloli'i has been representing and managing our waters. We have 15 organizations in West Hawaii that we need to get in front of the board. And the plane tickets are expensive now. We need your assistance, and that's the last ask. Mahalo nui.
Mahalo. Thank you so much. Any discussion of this, members? No? Okay, sure. Go ahead.
You know what, thanks, Chair. I'll just mention, since Uilani is on, the Board of Trustees is coming to Mokuākea Wednesday, October 29th. We will be at the Civic Club Convention in the Keoho boardroom from 1 to 4 p.m. So that's an opportunity for public testimony. And then the following week, we will be on Hawaii Island for our annual site visit, which culminates on Thursday. I believe it's November 7th at Haleolelo at Kahaku'ula o Ke'eli Kolani at 9 a.m., where the board will convene. And that's another opportunity for Mokuākea to come out and provide public testimony. Mahalo, Chair.
Mahalo. Mahalo, Uilani. Aloha to the Kaupikos over there. Okay. All right, let's take up our second item. A2, Implementation Plan Update on Washington, D.C. Congressional and Policymaking Fellowship. I'd like to call Ku'ule to the table, please. Our Director of Education and Culture-Based Learning. Aloha.
Aloha. So I have a brief update on the Washington, D.C. Congressional Fellowship, and I just want to caveat that I'm also going to be coming before the board with an action item to formalize some of this update for the October 29th meeting. So we were in the planning phases of the fellowship, and we were trying to navigate different rules, policies, and laws around Washington, D.C. employment and employment in congressional offices. And OHA trying to figure all of those things out and be able to implement was going to be really time consuming, and it would have hindered the implementation of the program on time. And so a solution to those challenges that we were facing was to partner with some organizations that already have processes and infrastructure to navigate Washington, D.C.'s employment policies, HR policies, congressional conflict of interest rules. There are Native Hawaiian entities that already do this kind of work and have systems set up. And so what we've been doing is talking with some of those entities to see if there's possibilities for partnership. So one of the organizations is ALA, Hawaiian Cultural Center. They're Virginia-based 501c3, and they have a mission very aligned to OHA's. They also have a lot of the networks, partnerships, and processes set up to be able to support the implementation of a fellowship like this. And so if the board were to approve partnering with ALA, they could help with the administration of the fellowship on the ground. And then related to ALA is Nakupuna, which is a Native Hawaiian organization that also has similarly aligned missions to OHA, and they have experience in administering fellowships. And so what I want to do at the October 29th meeting is bring forth those two organizations to add as partners with OHA and Hawaiian Native. So in the proviso language, we already had identified partnerships with Hawaiian Native Corporation to do match funding. And what I would like to do is request permission to add an entities such as ALA and Nakupuna to help us with the administration of the fellowship. And what that will do is it will make the experience of the fellows much more smooth and much more seamless, because they already have the processes, they already have systems, and they have people on the ground in DC. So they're able to do month-to-month check-ins with the fellows. They're able to bring in their networks in the DMV area to do learning opportunities with the fellows. And if there's something that happens while the fellows are in DC, they'll feel like they have people that they can immediately go to for help, because they'll have all these networks. And so next steps would be for me to come before the board to ask permission to make those revisions. And then we would start getting, if approved, then we would start doing our MOAs with the different organizations. We already have all the application processes queued up. We did that early on in the process. So once we get all the approvals, we can launch, we can do the press release. Comms has a press release drafted. They have a logo selected already, and they can just use the content that we have to get it out into the public. We can start rolling on the application and the selection, and then still launch the program on time, how we wanted to. Yeah, so that's the update, and more details. I'll be preparing more of the details in an action item. Mahalo.
Okay, very good. Any discussion or questions for Kule? No? Seeing none? Mahalo. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, Palomai, just to clear up the record, members, based on the testimony received, we will be hearing no further update on item A1. And I will be asking for unanimous consent to defer these matters. Are there any objections to that? Pardon me? No? Okay, there being none, the item A1 is deferred. No action. Okay, members, we're not going to go into executive session, but I've been informed that there is no update for item A in the executive session, and that the minutes are still being revised. As such, I will be asking for unanimous consent to defer these matters. Are there any objections? There being none, the executive session is deferred. Okay, let's move on to, pardon me? No, not ready. Okay, so let's move on to the next item is community concerns and celebrations. Okay, anyone have anything in this category? Okay, seeing none, I just want to share that I'm very pleased to, along with many other members, to have returned from the recent Native Hawaiian Convention. It was really something. I think you all agree. And it was hosted by the Hawaiian Council, formerly the Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement. It was held in Tulalip on the ancestral lands of the Tulalip tribes. And I think you'll agree with me that this was a very, very powerful and inspiring gathering. It beautifully honored the deep cultural connection between the Native Hawaiians and other indigenous peoples. It fostered unity, healing, shared purpose, and the setting in Tulalip brought an incredible sense of respect. We acknowledge them and thank them. And mahalo to Hawaiian Council, the Tulalip hosts, and all who contributed to such a meaningful and impactful event. And I think you'll agree it was rooted in aloha and indigenous solidarity. Any others? You want to share anything else? Okay, share.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Yeah, I also want to mahalo all of our staff. We had a major footprint there, and from the Hawaiian Registry program table and our outreach, our appeal engagements, the presentations that were done, the workshops that were well prepared, and it was just a fantastic experience and opportunity. And I think OHA was well received in its mainstream media coverage back here in Hawaii, was front and center. And I just want to commend the entire OHA team for a flawless execution of the convention. And given that this is one of our now legacy sponsorships, I can't wait for next year. We're gonna raise the bar even higher.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah. Thanks,
Anybody
Chair.
else? Yeah,
This is a question you mentioned about the registry. Just curious, did we get any updates on how that went along? How do we do?
yeah.
can speak on that.
Ilima?
Or maybe admin could, but when I had last asked about the numbers and figures, there were at least 150 to 160 on the last or second to last day of the convention of inquiries, and in terms of printing, there were at least 50 Hawaiian Registry card program cards that were printed as well.
Yeah, Vice Chair, I think they went up to 70
Awesome.
the last day. Yeah. And so we want to thank our registry crew. And that was your dry run for the neighbor islands.
Yep.
And now we're ready. And
One more thing I would like to add regarding the Hawaiian Registry card is in talking with, I want to say Junior, the lead singer of the group Common Kings. I was talking about the Hawaiian Registry program with him, and he had shared that he is a Hawaiian Registry card holder. And I had asked him when he had received his card, as I understand that cards from yesteryear have an expiration date, and that be welcoming him to print a new one where we wouldn't have an expiration date. And when he had checked, I think it expires this month, or very recent. So his interest in getting another Hawaiian Registry card and for his children as well.
Mhm. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, so for all of our employees, I think you'll be happy to note that your trustees was cutting up the rug at the concert. Yeah, so that's good.
I'm thankful to have been able to attend.
That's a report from that. Members, any other announcements? Any announcements? No? Well, mahalo to our administrative staff and members of this committee for your participation today. There being no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn? Okay. Leanne, please call the roll.
Trustee Ahuna is excused. Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Akina,
Aye.
Trustee Alapa.
Aye.
Trustee Kahele.
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay.
Aye.
Trustee Souza.
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Chair Galutaria.
Aye.
You have 8 yes votes. Motion passes.
Okay, mahalo. 11 o'clock, right, Chair Alapa? 11 o'clock is enough. Okay, we're adjourned.